What's up, guys? This is Brad. So this morning I set up for the very first time at a card show, and I shared that on my Instagram as well as on the Facebook page, the Facebook group that I'm in. Which, by the way, if you're not a part of that, it's CGC Sports Illustrated. Make sure you hop in that Facebook group. But I shared on both of those pages that I was setting up at a show, put a little picture of my setup, and I got tons of feedback and support from all you other collectors in the hobby. Saying that you were glad that I was doing that, and a lot of people saying that they wanted reports on how it went. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Just going to share with you a little bit about it. So first off, this was called the Sports Card and Collectibles Show, and I actually was a co-organizer. So a buddy of mine who does sports cards and does some sports card breaks in the area here in Southern Illinois, he had reached out to me about putting on a show. And I work at a community college. I'm an administrator at a community college. And so he was seeing if it was something we could host at our college. And so I worked with him, and we got this show organized, and it was set for today. And it was not just sports cards and obviously sports. I mean, there was such a great variety of things there. There were comics, there were Funko Pops, there was other sports memorabilia. It was really cool, and we sold out all of our vendor space. We had 55 vendor tables set up in the conference center of the community college, and all day long today. Awesome turnout. I'd estimate we had between 300 and 400 people, just a really steady flow. And so as far as how it went great. Honestly, I had no expectation as far as selling because I don't really sell that many magazines. I probably keep 80 to 90% of the magazines that I get slabbed. Most of them are either like personal collection, or I consider them like long-term investments or long-term holds. I don't sell a lot. So what I brought with me was I brought about 12 magazines to sell that I put some prices on, and then I brought about another 12 magazines with me to display and just kind of set up. And my only goal today was just that I wanted to bring awareness. I wanted to show people that graded magazines is a thing. I had some flyers set out there for my YouTube channel, and that was really my number one thing I wanted to accomplish, and that was awesome. I talked to a ton of people today who were primarily there for sports cards and some of the other things, and the majority of them didn't know about graded sports magazines. A few of them did, which I thought was cool too. And so I was able to explain the hobby to a lot of people, and some of the number one things that I was telling people was talking to them about subscription versus newsstand, and how the newsstands are more collectible and why, and how there was such a smaller print run, and talked to a lot of people about how they're similar to sports cards, with a rookie card versus a first cover. Talked about comics and all kinds of stuff, and tons of people were interested. I handed out tons of flyers for my YouTube channel, and a lot of people were asking a lot of questions, and it was awesome. And honestly, I'm not surprised by that, because my experience, just like with friends and with other people I've already talked to, is just about anybody I know who likes sports and who likes sports cards, when they see what the hobby of sports magazines and Sports Illustrated, when they see that and they see these slabs and they see what it's all about, it's almost like 100% think that it's awesome, because it is. I mean, it's super cool, and people get it. People understand. It really clicks, and it makes sense with the cover and the display and the history and the athletes, and then the rarity, and then the slabs, the newsstands versus subscription. It clicks with everybody, and that was the reaction I got today. I did sell two magazines today. I did sell two slabs. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting to sell anything. It was actually kind of tough for me even to pick out enough magazines to sell. I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of a variety, and also I know that when people go to these card shows, a lot of times they're looking for deals, they're looking for bargains, and they're digging through dollar bins and that type of stuff. And of course, there's not many graded magazines, if any, that I'm going to be selling for $1. So I grabbed a few, low end slabs that really I just kind of was looking to offload to free up some space. And then I brought some higher end ones as well. And then I brought about 12 with me to display that I had no intention of selling, but I just want people to see how freaking cool these are. So the two that I sold a, let's see, what was it, like a 2004 or 2005 Tom Brady, not a first cover, not a second cover, kind of one of his run of the mill covers, graded at a 7.0. I think I've had it up on eBay for like $29.99 for several months, and no bites on it, but I sold it today for $35. So that was cool. And it was that guy's first ever graded magazine. He was super hyped about it. He's like, yeah, I'm not even a Tom Brady fan, but I just want to have one of these. So that was a cool one. And then the other one I sold was Black Sports Magazine. It was the issue #1 premier issue, has had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson on the cover. Pretty cool cover. Pretty cool that it's issue #1. That Black Sports publication didn't last super long. It graded at a 4.0, so I sold it for $45. And that guy he just thought the cover was super cool with both Kareem and Oscar Robertson. He was talking to me about how much he loved watching Oscar Robertson play. This was an older guy who's probably in his 60s. Talked about how much of an underrated player he was. So I sold those two slabs. I made $75. Wasn't expecting that. That was just kind of icing on the cake for me. Like I said, handed out a lot of flyers about my YouTube channel and just talked to a ton of people about the hobby. So that was cool. I would consider it super successful. I would love to set up at some more shows. Some other magazines I brought with me to display. I brought a Mickey Mantle first cover to display. I had of course I had my Yadier Molina first cover because we're in St. Louis Cardinals territory down here in Southern Illinois, so I knew people would like that one. I had a LeBron first cover out there. I had my Kobe Bryant Nintendo Power. Those were some that I set out just once again, not that I would not be selling, but I wanted people to see. A couple that I had up for sale. I did have a Michael Jordan first cover available for sale. I think it was a 3.0. Listed it at a higher price. I think I listed it for $1,500, not expecting anyone to buy it, but that was one where I don't want to sell it. I want to hold that one for a long time. If I put it on eBay right now, it wouldn't sell for $1,500. It'd go for significantly less than that, maybe $500. But it's one that I think is going to grow in value a lot in the long run, in my opinion. So that was why I listed it high, because I don't really want to sell it, but if someone had wanted to pay $1,500 for it today, then I would have been willing to do that. And then I kind of did the same thing with a Larry Bird. I had a Larry Bird first cover 3.0. I had a price tag of $750 on there today. Once again, didn't really want to sell that, but yeah, so I had a Hulk Hogan 7.0 up for sale. I had a Sean Kemp Slam magazine for sale, and so it was fun. It was a great time. And this event went so well today that my friend and I were planning on doing this at least twice a year. We may even try and do it quarterly with as successful as it was today. And so, yeah, if you are ever interested in coming to set up here at this show down in Southern Illinois at John A. Logan College, feel free to drop a comment and I'll get you on the email list so you can know about it. But anyway, a couple other things that I forgot to mention is one of the most talked about slabs that I brought was Michael Jordan Beckett magazine. I brought the #1 issue of Basketball Beckett. Pretty common magazine. There's been tons of them graded. There's tons of 9.8s, and the 9.8 sell decent, but even anything below that, even like a 9, I think mine's a 9.4. Those will maybe sell for $100, $150. But anyway, tons of sports cards. Ton of the sports card collectors resonated with that one because, of course, Beckett. They remember Beckett, and Beckett is nostalgic for them. So that was a big talking point, was that graded Beckett, which I thought was kind of funny. And then the other thing that I wanted to say was, I really think that we as a hobby and as a community, we need to encourage more participation in some of these shows. We need to try and start infiltrating our way into these shows a little bit. And once again, just like I said, I don't think it should be so much right now with the expectation of sales. I mean, some sales here and there are great, but I think that that's one of the best ways we can get more awareness about this hobby, because we know that sports card collectors and some of these other collectibles, some of these other people in these other collectible spaces, those are some of the most likely people to, find the uniqueness and the enjoyment in this hobby, like I have and like some of you have. And so I think, just like today, there were so many sports card collectors that were walking up and they're like, wow, I didn't even know they graded magazines. I've never seen these before. If we can start getting some of us collectors around the country to hit up some of these shows and show off what these are all about, I think that can be one of the best ways to keep growing our audience and growing our hobby base. So once again, if you're a collector and you've got some slabs, I encourage you to look around at some upcoming shows and see if you can set up a table, and let's keep spreading this awareness and keep on making more people aware of how awesome this hobby is. That's pretty much all I got. I just wanted to give everybody a recap of how the show went. I thought it went great. Really enjoyed talking to all the collectors and sharing education about the hobby, and that was my number one goal. And like I said, a little bit of icing on the top to walk out with 75 bucks cash as well. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And till the next video, see you next time.